Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Infinifactory. We are here for another round of videos. I recorded all of the ones you've seen so far last week on Saturday, and I'm going to do the same thing again, try and record 4 episodes. So like last time, if you want another episode of this tomorrow, leave a like on the video, show some support for the series. If we get 1,000 on this one, I'll publish the next episode tomorrow. That sounds like a fair deal right there. But anyway, let's go and click on View Puzzles. And I've also changed the controls around a little bit, so we're going to see how that works. Knowing me, I've now gotten used to these controls, and I'm going to mess it up. But we're going to get a new block in this one, which is going to be interesting. And I've had a lot of feedback from you guys, and I've learned a lot more about the game. So I know exactly how Cycle's footprint and blocks work now, because we were kind of speculating that. And we also ran into some problems, and some of you pointed out, well, I kind of discovered it myself, but some of you pointed out what went wrong. We have this input rate thing down the bottom, and these were actually my start and stop record buttons before, so I didn't notice that these had changed, and on one level they were on max, and it kind of messed everything up. So we're going to play the rest of the game with the input rate on 0. I'm not sure if you're intended to speed it up and down to solve particular puzzles. I'm taking it's to help adjust your score. It kind of makes me think that maybe you would, but I'm not sure, so we'll keep that in mind actually as we go along. Okay, so this is what we've got over here. We've got some smashed screens, it's quite strange actually, and some control terminals they look like. And we've also got to make something over here. Fascinating, so we've got 2 out. Oh no wait, this isn't actually an output, is it? This is just a thing. Is this our like input? Do we have to separate all of this? I'm not sure what's going on here. Let's have a look at the chart. Let's go down. So we have to use a drill, which is a new one that we got to break the block by the looks of it. Fascinating stuff. So there's nothing outside of these windows, is there? And it's now like we're in a city. Interesting. So the environment has well and truly changed. Let's hold up the menu here and put the eviscerator, as it's called, down onto a menu. I've got a feeling we're probably not going to need the welders at this point. So let's grab a conveyor belt and let's place this down here. So it's now right click to place, which is like the Minecraft controls, and I'm going to get used to that quickly, I think. Okay, so let's just start the game, see what happens here. Okay, and what we've got to do, oh, it's going to give us them over and over again. Fascinating. And we're just trying to separate it, aren't we, and get the good screens. Alright, so it's like we're salvaging parts here. We're taking out the good screens. That's really interesting. So do we have to dump all of the extra materials like somewhere, like maybe down the bottom? That is quite the challenge. Okay, so there's always got to think about this a little bit. Everything on the bottom I think needs to be separated so we can destroy all of those things. Right, I'm gonna do a little bit of an experiment here and just see. Oh, getting the controls wrong again because I've changed them. Just see how this works. So it goes right into that block. What's going to happen when we start this? Destroys. Oh wow, okay. It works like that, does it? Ah, and they drop down as well. Gravity can be involved, so we might make use of this space down here. Okay, okay, I think I see where this is going. I'm going to make a cut here and just give myself some time to think about this one. So I've determined one thing. 2 drills like this in the middle destroys everything there because we need none of it. We're trying to save the screens on either side. And if we just have a single drill like this, let's also put another one of those down. It's going to fall on top of it, so watch this. It comes in and it falls down and destroys everything. So we need a different way to do that, and I'm not sure if these are welded together or not. So I guess over on this side, maybe we can give something a push. So let's put in a few conveyor belts, and then it gets down the end here. We have a pusher. We're going to see if this just kind of separates it more than anything, and then we'll put a sensor to the side. So at this point we're not really trying to solve the solution as such, we're just trying to learn. Okay, there we go. So let's start the process. Oh, that's kind of interesting. So it all stays together. And why did that not fall down? Why did this bit not fall down? Because the whole thing is welded together, I guess, and before... Ah, this bit here is holding it up now because it's all welded. Okay, we might be able to sort of put the drills in the right place then to... Ah, you see, if we knock out all 4 of these at once, I was thinking we could kind of mirror that shape with the drills, then this thing is going to fall down. Fascinating stuff, okay. I think I've got to do a little bit more experimentation, but at the moment the solution isn't quite coming to mind here. Okay, I'm starting to see a little bit more of what the solution could be. We've sort of got to dismantle everything bit by bit. The problem here is that we're going to separate it, and then we're going to need that to fall onto a tractor belt. Conveyor belt, that's the one. So let's just have a look at how this works. See, it goes through like that, so we mash up all of these blocks that we don't want. If I remove this one right here, you'll see that it all sticks together as well. So that might not be the correct time to actually remove that block. We might want it to sort of stick together for a little bit longer. So now the challenge is sort of how do we move it along and remove these bottom two blocks without that top one falling down onto the, what's it called again? The eviscerator, yes. So it's quite a tricky challenge. Still not figured this one out yet. Getting a little bit ahead of myself here. We've got the solution. It was to have a track at the top here, so then the structure is supported at the top. We can run an eviscerator underneath, and then we drop it onto this track, and we're trying to remove these two now. And this might be a little bit tricky, but I think I've got the solution. And this has actually turned out to be quite an easy challenge, if I'm correct. Somewhere around here we need a track that points to the other side. I think that might actually be exactly what we need. Yes, because when this far one comes along, it's going to push the broken one right in front of it. Now, I think we're on the path to victory here, let's put it that way, because all we've got to do is send it down here now, right? We might also need to put it in a particular direction. Let's see. It's just going to stay the same way, isn't it? It's facing the right way already. Okay, so wrong button, we rotate like that. We're going to do a little bit of an experiment here, so we'll speed it up if I can remember the controls. There we go, it appears we've done that correctly. Very cool, so let's have a look. Our cycle score was alright, so was our footprint and block score. Let's play again, and let's increase the input rate, because this thing, I think in theory, works just if you have a solid input. So, oh, let's press the right buttons again. It does back up a little bit, but it seems to be okay. So with a higher cycle rate, let's see how this affects our score. It's just a tiny bit better, isn't it? Interesting. So let's continue to sell. That was really fun. I enjoyed that one. We now got a new block that's going to be useful, I think. Or more so, I think this block is, as you've seen, like for processing, I think would be how you describe that. Okay, so now we're going to do some shuttle maintenance. Got to remember to check the cycle score. It's defaulted to 0. That's good. Let's have a look over here. Do we get a new block for this one? I think we might. I can't remember if it said we did or didn't. I don't see a new block there. Yeah, okay, so what's the point it's trying to make here? You want to use pistons to delay blocks now. Okay, that's a really good tip actually. Do we have a login here anywhere? Oh, we do. Look, we've got a fallen comrade. Right, I'm going to nosy around, look at what's going on here, and you guys can listen to the next log. Hello. Let's click it.
Well, that was a pain in the ass. Let's run it again and see what happens. Oh, what the hell? One of the inputs must be jammed. This is bloody ridiculous. I don't see anything. Oh, maybe it's a bit farther back. Oh, wait. Was I even pushing the right button? Ah, ha, ha, ha. Oh, no.
Okay, so one of the key comments that I got about those logs is that the volume's quiet. I tell you what, it takes a long time to edit stuff sometimes, and the extra work in post-processing to change the volume, it's really not worth it. I don't have a lot of time to do these videos, and yeah, so just turn up volume on your PC if you're really interested. So I figured out what's going on here, and it kind of feels like this one's going to be relatively simple unless I've overlooked something. In fact, I think I know what I've overlooked. This track right here is just going to send it straight down, so we'll probably need to make use of these pistons at some point as it's described. But the beginning bit should be really simple. I think all we need to do is use an eviscerator. So let's put 2 of those here and just point them into... Oh, that was already in the right position. So it's going to get rid of all of those. Ah, the end ones fall off. Fascinating. What if we... So the end ones are not joined. That's... I guess that means you probably need like an extra eviscerator here. Wondering now if there's an easier way to do this. There we go. Okay, so one on this side. Rotate it. Press play. That's absolutely fine. So then somewhere along here we've got to reattach it. So there's 6 in total just before that thing sort of arrived in the same area. And we need 3 on either side. So I think timing should be okay. Let's see what rotation is the block in. Yeah, it's not the ideal one. We need to kind of rotate it early on, I think. So how's that going to work with just a single one? Normally when we rotated things it's with multiple blocks. Yeah, it doesn't do anything, does it? Or maybe actually it needs a little bit more space first. Let's just do a quick experiment. Oh, it does, and then the next one pushes it along. Okay, we might be able to work with that. Alright, this is so far looking like it might be quite simple, because we can make strips of 3 of these quite easily, and then they sort of drop down here in the middle. So you'd picture some sort of separating system to divide them up one by one, drop them down either side, and as I say it, then you've got to attach them. That might get pretty tricky actually. But anyway, I'm thinking about the footprint size already, and we're dropping it in the middle, which means one of them has to come back across. I'm looking at a smaller way of doing this. If we rotate this to the side and move that over here, then it's going to get pushed off over here, at which point we could possibly start the welding process by having some welders up above. Just moved that one out of the inventory, didn't I? We're probably done with the eviscerator for now, so we'll put it in right there. Hopefully it'll be useful. We can attach 2 of those like this, then we just got to copy what we did here, so 2 more blocks and then a conveyor belt. And look at that, we've done it in 2 blocks less space. We could also send it out sideways like that, which might be useful. So let's have a look at see how that does at reducing the footprint here. I might have also overlooked something. I have, because it's now directly next to that block right there. Oh dear, okay. Man, the way you look at this game is quite amusing sometimes. I instinctively wanted to rotate it. For what reason, I'm not sure. If you look at the way they come out, if I just send them off to the side, then they're in the same direction that they need to be. So if we just quickly remove this, obviously some of this can probably be compacted now, and we put our conveyor belt here, then look, they go in line because we just turn it. Rather than rotate it, we can just turn a corner. That's the trick we've learnt there. That's going to drop it down in a decent place as well, and it looks like we'll be able to get 2 across and weld them. But yes, we're definitely going to have to make use of a piston, I reckon, to stop this thing. Fascinating stuff. It really is amusing. But yeah, that's a really good point there, that in order to rotate these things, sometimes you don't need to rotate them. Probably more so when it's a single block, you just change their direction. So anyway, I'm going to start off by making all of this a lot more smaller and efficient. Okay, separation mechanic. I've kind of got half of it in mind. We want to stack these up too high, and then we detect when they're too high. We'll have a piston that pushes one forward, so it gets pulled over to this bit, and then we have a piston that pushes one off to the side, and it gets pulled all the way over to the other side. Then we'll probably have to realign them, connect them, a little bit more fancy stuff to do. Problem is this, where I put the sensor, it's not quite going to work the way we want it. And I've got a feeling that I've learnt this lesson before about the timing, but I just haven't quite figured it out in my mind, if you know what I mean. And yeah, there's definitely a solution to this anyway. Do you know, we have solved this problem before, it's just kind of hit me. The problem is, as soon as the sensor's activated, the pistons extend. So whatever way you do it, it's not going to work. What you need is an overflow, which I just showed you there, where we push something over the top, and that's when we detect it. So let's just stop that. So I kind of moved everything up by 1 block as well, by the way. You can see there's a couple of blocks left over that don't actually need to be there. What we want to do is detect it once it overflows. So it drops one down on here, it drops the second one, and then when the next one pushes over, it's going to land on this track. It's then going to push the other one off onto the other side. I think that's our solution. And since I've raised everything up, I'm actually going to raise all of this up as well. It might give us a bit more flexibility when we drop down, have more room for other things. I don't think it's going to make the biggest of differences, but it might do. So we might as well stick to what we got going on over here. So if we ever need the extra space in height, I'm sure we can do a better job with this, but that just happened to be convenient for now. And what I noticed is that as the overflow was building up, this thing was coming along, and so what we really can't actually have is like all of these blocks in reserve to make our mechanism here work. So we have to send them across, and one falls down after the other one's made, like that. And for some reason I put that piston in like the complete and utter wrong place. That's not supposed to be there. Let's put it in the correct place. So we'd need you there. Actually, no, we wouldn't need that. We'd need some conduits to come up. It's funny how I saw the space and then put the piston in it, didn't even think about what way it's facing. Yes, that should be correct. And then only when it falls down, now you can go across, then you get dragged across. So looking at the arrival of this thing, I'm a little bit worried about how we're going to hold it up. We might need like a whole row of pistons just sort of slowing them down, or there may be a quicker way to do this. So I'm going to look for a more elegant solution to this, that's for sure, because the way it's wired up at the moment, maybe it could be a little bit better. But we're kind of getting there now. We've got these things on either side, and then we're going to have to create a system to hold these up as well. It's going to be pretty interesting. So my first attempt at creating a delay for this over here has not gone too well. Let's have a watch. You can see the delay is ever so slight. And the way we've done it here is the detector is after where the thing ends, because otherwise if it's one block further forward, the piston's going to stop it while it's detecting it, and it's going to forever be stuck there. So I don't know if this is the correct way to do this or not. You see, another thought I had was we could hook it up to the timing of something over here, and then maybe that would help. Like, we could have a whole conduit powering pistons and just one sensor for the entire thing. That might be a way to do this bit right here. I'm not sure how the timing's going to work, so that's another idea to play around with. Yeah, okay, so we've got a couple of ideas, but it is certainly taking us some time to figure this one out. Definitely, like, coming up against some new challenges here. Okay, I think this one is a no. Look at this. Short delay, and then it's a lot longer before the next one comes out. And it pushes it over to one side. Yeah, that's not going to work. Oh man, I found something cool. Check this out. Oh, no, wrong button. Speed it up a little bit. So it pushes it off to one side. Then look at this. This slows it right down. But look at that. It moves forward one block each time. So I think when we get closer to this bit here, we have like 2 of those delays running. Oh, that's going to be so good. And it's going to make all of this a lot smaller as well, because we're not going to need so much. Alright, that is an awesome solution. No idea if that's the one they intended for, but that's one of the cool things about this game, is finding your own solution to things. Right, let's get rid of all of this. We're just going to make a small thing down in this area. Okay, I think we got this. Let's... Oh, no! Wrong bit. Let's turn that to the side. Put 2 of those there. And I think we just need some downwards facing welders. Except they would also need to go into these blocks, wouldn't they? Okay, that might be a bit much. Actually, it's probably not. Let's have a look. And yeah, I think this is going to work just fine. So let's watch it come across. Back it goes. I love the way it delays it there. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've messed something up here, haven't I? Okay, that's in the way on both sides. Interesting. I think actually that's not that interesting. Well, the thing is, we've got to weld this, and we've probably got to weld it from the... Oh, don't tell me we can't put it there because we're welding them from the top. They drop down, and then we've got to weld them into this position. Right, there's also a little bit of timing here we've got to consider. Oh, I think there might not be a way. We have to put them above, or maybe we can put them below. We have to have 2 connectors. We have to have 2 welders that join. One on the block that isn't connected to this thing and one that is. So those 2 there are pretty obvious. But from any other direction, I don't see a solution. Does that mean... Oh, man. There's so many things to consider, and sometimes you don't get there until you get there, so to speak. I don't think we need this conveyor belt. I think we can actually drop this one further back. So that will land down here somewhere. And then, of course, we can very easily... So let's just manipulate this. That's where we need the blocks. Like that. Yeah, I think this is correct. Okay, let's see how this plays out. Let's put another one there. Rotate it, remove that one. I think that should work. Let's speed it up a little bit. It's going to drop down in front of that sensor, push the other one across. That one's in position to be pushed at the same time that it needs to be welded. And then that means, yeah, we can have our welder across the top here. That's what we were trying to do. So we actually only need the one block. It does make it look a little uneven. Then we have our 4 welders in a row. And then we need some sort of timing here to push them in. And I think that'll involve a sensor and some pistons. So let's put the pistons at either side here, facing inwards. Rotate you, and then it's a case of detection. I think the detection should be done by... Oh, wait a minute, that's going to be... I think we have to come across like that. It should be done by the thing... the big block that's coming down. Wow, what have I done? I just undid that, didn't I, somehow, by pressing a button. Yeah, there are undo and redo buttons on the keyboard, and I always seem to just hit the wrong button. Okay, so that's now completely rubbish because I put it in the totally wrong place. The tracks are going to fall... The tracks. You know, the thing that we're creating is going to fall on top of that. It needs to be... Oh, now this is in the way. Oh, my days. So this might be the solution. It looks a little bit ugly and awkward. There's got to be a smarter way to do that. Maybe you can reduce the block size just by having 2 sensors. You don't have to hook it all up to the same one. That's actually a really good point, because if you look, this thing going across the other side is the problem. So we can probably smarten this up a little bit. Let's speed it along, get to the bit that we want to see. So no idea, sort of doing this blind. Well, looks like we were late a little bit. Also, the way that this hangs off the end, we might not be getting it in the right place. Actually, no, it's probably all timing. I think we just need to move that sensor a little bit forward. So let's place it right there. And then a conduit. I think it could even do... We're going... Actually, let's put it a little further forward. And then just destroy all of that. Speed it up. Come on, this has got to be it now. Yes! No! Oh, one too soon. One too soon. So my first guess there was probably right. And now we should see that in action. Here it goes. Oh no, wait, what? Oh, it needs to be 1 further forward? Wait, I've kind of forgotten how it was before. This should be okay if it is, because we can put a sensor there. And then... Actually, it kind of makes sense if the sensor's directly in line with the welding. I think it does. I don't know, maybe I've done too much thinking for today. Oh wow, no, I'm getting this totally wrong now. I think I just went in the wrong direction, didn't I? So, we had it, let's see, we had it, I think it was there? Maybe it needs to be here. I'm making a royal mess of this, I know. I thought we were done for a second there. Okay, last time, and I'll do the rest in between if I get this one wrong. Oh, I got it wrong. Some of you knew what was wrong. Some of you were backseat gaming, screaming at your monitors. The welders were in the incorrect position, because I had it at the very back of where the 3 on the side are. In fact, let's just start this so you can see. Well, no, that doesn't help, does it? So they were across this strip right here. And when I realised that, I just moved them forward. Also tidied up some of the other stuff, so let's see this thing come along. I think it's a nice solution overall. And this I especially like. That works so well. I don't know how other people have done that, but I'd love to see, because it's just so interesting. And now we can speed things up, and it appears to work perfectly. There's no sort of issues caused by our setup. We could also try this on the faster cycle speed as well. Out of curiosity, that is. It might not work, but there you go. So a reasonable score overall. Maybe could have used less blocks, so let's speed up that. I instinctively used the wrong key there. Let's speed this all the way up to the max. And then we're just going to let it play and see what happens. Yep, no, it's not going to work. Fair enough. That makes complete sense that it wouldn't. Let's put that all the way down to 0. Okay, there we go. Our score has been restored. And we only done 2 puzzles so far. Oh wait, I clicked on play again. Return to cell. Exit to cell, there we go. Does that actually mean we completed that one? It does, and we got a new block, the blocker. Was that in the one we just did? I don't remember seeing that. That might have actually been quite useful. Let's go back and have a quick look. Did we have a new block this whole time? The blocker, we did. Oh my god, and I bet... Oh, that's what this was for. I bet some of you were going absolutely crazy. I didn't even realise. I'm so sorry. I'm going to come back here and play around with that a little bit, I think. But that's going to be it for this episode. Remember what I said at the beginning? 1,000 likes, we'll get another one tomorrow. Basically, I'm going to record the rest of these puzzles and then I'll upload them tomorrow if we get 1,000 likes. Anyway, that's it. So as always, thank you very much for watching and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.